Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Destiny 2. So I'm going to do the weekly story this week, but before I do that, I figure I may as well do the dawning. Because the introductory to the dawning is usually just bake a cookie. So I imagine it's relatively quick. I think I'll probably just get my oven and then bake a cookie for Zavala. It's usually how the first like introductory quest goes for dawning, so it's usually pretty quick. But I'll do that first, rather than jump straight into the story quest. And the whole tower is Christmassy, that's cool. Hey Eva.
Let's see.
Welcome to the Dawning, Guardian, Eva says. At this time of year, the city joins together to celebrate and give thanks to all we have. She smiles. And what's a celebration without some fresh baked treats? Now, I can't do it all myself, so I'm going to lend you my holiday oven. She clasps her hands in excitement. Oh, I can't wait to see what you come up with. I think you should begin by baking a gift for dear Commander Zavala. Okay, as I expected. So we have Dawning Memento. So there is a new memento this season, which is good to know. Weirdly, I can pick up the Haunted quest from her. It's weird that is still an abandoned quest. I never did that on my Hunter, so I guess it's just sitting here. Dawning Weapons, there is a new glaive, which is Arc, kind of annoyingly. I was hoping this would be Stasis. You know, it's a Christmas glaive. Could be a good time to introduce a glaive into the kinetic slot, but whatever. We have Stay Prophecy, Avalanche, Cold, Comfort, Glacier Chasm, and Zephyr. A couple of these have a new role, new roles. Glacier Chasm, I think, has Controlled Burst now, which is pretty good. So I think you can get Ambitious Assassin with Controlled Burst now, so that's probably something to go for. The rest of them, pretty much the same. They have some new roles. I think Stay Frosty got maybe a better PvP role, I'm not sure, but for the most part, they're all the same. We do have this new memento going for us, so that's something. So, it wants us to bake a cookie for Zavala, did it say? Use holiday oven to bake a gift for Commander Zavala. I can immediately masterwork my oven because I've done it in previous years. That's always nice. Beautiful. We give him his Galadoodles.
Are you ready?
Zavala's expression is unreadable as he accepts the cookies, but he nods in recognition of the thoughtful gift. Cool. We got some spirit and a gift in return. Open the event card, do the challenge, all of this kind of general stuff that we do every time. I've unlocked all of the rest of them. Got an emblem. Emblem's cool. I like new emblems. Oh, that's fucking Van Gogh inspired. I quite like that a lot, actually. Let me delete one so I have room. That Iron Lord one can disappear.
Let's see.
Does Zavala like his... This is exactly the same as she said every year, isn't it? Go on, spread some cheer. Like, legitimately the exact same thing she says every year. Sure.
It's just right.
Eva clasps her hands together as you approach, causing a cloud of cinnamon-scented flour to puff into the air. How wonderful, Guardian, she says. I can use the dawning spirit you collected to help spread holiday cheer much more efficiently. She nudges you. What, you didn't think old Eva cared about things like maximizing productivity? Trust me, if I could spread dawning cheer by baking one enormous cookie for the whole tower instead of 100 little ones, I would. The old woman sighs wistfully. Maybe someday. Anyway, she says, and pats your holiday oven. Peek in there and see how much dawning spirit you've gathered, and let me know when you're coming along. Let's make this a dawning to remember. Bake cookies for allies using Vex milk and other ingredients. Banshee 44, same 14 failsafe. Okay. I'll be able to do this entire quest in one day, I think. I usually can. I think you just have to... Excuse me. Usually just have to create one cookie for literally everyone, which is usually pretty quick. We get a daily boon. Grant Dawning Spirit Award, Fire Team, completion of players activity. Cool. Perfect. And we once again have the weeklies that give a bunch of bright dust, so that's something. Deliver holiday treats 5 people, defeat combatants with snowballs. Interesting. Snowballs spawn when combatants are defeated with abilities or dawning weapons. That's new. 50 scorn, 20 orbs of power, solar,
Nice.
arc. Might be worth grabbing repeatables too. Because usually they just craft each of those cookie types. I'm going to be doing all of the cookie types eventually, so should be fine. Oh, we're back. So we've done the entirety of the event, essentially. It's just going to be collect ingredients, make cookies, give cookies to people. That's all the dawning is. It's never anything particularly interesting, but the weapons are cool, I suppose. Anyway, off to do the story, which I assume is come here and speak to Riven. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Alright, hi Riven, what do you got?
You've returned. Would that the Queen's witches had your punctuality, a warden mine. The Techyans have started work on the lodestone, but they can't finish it without help. I would love to find amusement in their inadequacy, make a meal of it. However, the task of helping those who can't help themselves has fallen on your shoulders again. Something of the Ahamkara in you, perhaps? The lodestone must be attuned to the confluence, like teaching a compass where north lies. I've simplified, of course, for your sake.
Thanks for the condescension.
The calibration will take some time. Should I pray for you to make it out alive?
Interesting. Riven welcomes you back. The Techyans have started work on the lodestone, but they can't finish it without help. The task of helping those who can't help themselves has fallen on your shoulders again. Something of the Ahamkara in you, perhaps. Riven suggests that you delve into the coil so the Techyons can finalize their preparations for the Starlight Lodestone. Cool. I may as well grab a couple of these. Sure. May as well. I'll also grab one each of these, because that's some extra red borders. So now we have to do a coil, right? I assume? Calibrate the Starlight Lodestone by completing pathways and collecting wishing glass shards as a fire team in the coil. Petra, hello.
The Techyans are in final preparations for the lodestone. Your work in its calibration was invaluable. It will serve as a beacon for the Queen to make contact with her personal harbinger. She'll commune with it. Ask it to guide the remainder of the clutch back to us. It's the last of its kind. And it's good to see a harbinger, normally a weapon of war, used for diplomacy. Even with Riven. In the past, the pinnacle of the Spine of Caris provided the open sky the Queen needed for this communion. It will suffice again. But the Taken can test that region, as they have since Riven's curse rang out. They will hinder your every step. So cut through them, secure the spine, and the Queen will do the rest.
Interesting. I need to look up more lore about harbingers. Because I know very little, if anything, about them. I don't think... Like, the name I've heard before, I think, but I've never... I'll have to look up a Mylan or a Bife video on it, I guess. Petra gives you a grateful nod. The Techyans are in final preparation for the lodestone. Your work in its calibration was invaluable. I do it in a team. Soloing it was dumb. It took all the way to a tier 3 before I actually got it done. So do your coil in a team. It's just easier. It will serve as a beacon for the Queen to make contact with her personal harbinger. She'll commune with it, ask it to guide the remainder of the clutch back to us. Petra grows reflective. It's the last of its kind. And it's good to see a harbinger, normally a weapon of war, used for diplomacy. Even with Riven. In the past, the pinnacle of the spine of Karos provided the open sky the Queen needed for this communion. It will suffice again. Petra warns you that the Taken will hinder your every step, so cut through them, secure the spine, and the Queen will do the rest. Cool. That was pretty much just a recap of what you already said. It's really annoying that sometimes that happens and then other times it doesn't. So, we want to do... Oracle Engine mission, huh?
Communion with my Harbinger requires we access the highest point of the spine of Karos. But Riven's curse remains.
The curse brings new Taken to the region every cycle. So hunt them and our work can begin. Once the spine is secure, Sadia and the Techians can light a beacon for the Harbinger.
Cool. Makes sense. Cool. Barrier destroyed. Time to make it to the observatoire.
You'll find 2 ogres within, Guardian. As all Guardians have since the curse began. All across this region, the Corsairs remain as well. Reliving this nightmare is a matter of course, as we bend backward to aid the Ahamkara that unleashed this.
One crisis at a time, my wrath.
Yes, my queen.
The observatory is secure. Sadia and the Techians are now free to signal my Harbinger. We'll use it to pull the clutch within our reach. The Harbingers once aided the Awoken against the likes of the Taken King. But your actions today shall allow a Harbinger to aid in diplomacy. For perhaps the first time.
Even if it is with an enemy of the state.
Just the same. All things are handled here, Guardian, thanks to you. I need your strength elsewhere.
The next egg should be coming into range.
Mara's seeing to the Harbinger. We'll cover you on this one.
Yes.
Guardian, I'm seeing a lot of Scorn activity ahead. I doubt they understand what it is we're after, but they'll get in our way all the same.
Such callousness toward your creations. I suppose they have a new master now.
This is a fair point. I'm kind of interested how Thickrel would get on with Crow. It's not something I've really considered before, but
Do
he
you
did create
remember
them.
How you brought me to the Dreaming City for the first time?
I remember.
You sought a gift for your sister. Something that could delight and surprise her.
Let's stay focused.
These Scorn can't be getting fresh orders from the Witness. What are they up to?
Poisoning every corner of the Dreaming City they can reach.
Perhaps they resemble their creator. Or aimless yearning.
I yearn for you to stop talking.
Egg.
I understand the Queen's reluctance. But you've done the Witness's bidding before. Why not again?
Kill my friends to bring on the final shape? No thanks.
A wish to end suffering. You made such a wish once, and brought about so much death.
You know that wasn't what I wanted.
You should have been more careful with your words.
Enough! It's done! The Queen is waiting.
Interesting. Hello.
I heard you over the comm channels. I am sorry that we are forced to entreat with Riven. She and I have our own histories to navigate, but what she did to you, how she wormed her way into your mind, that was inexcusable. It pains me to put you through this.
Even after all that's happened, you still think I need to be protected?
No, that is not.
It's all right, Mara. I understand. We've always shared a connection. Even when you were lost in the Ascendant Plane, I could still feel your presence. Your heartbeat. I knew you weren't truly gone. Riven was only able to manipulate me because of how strong our connection was. I've made choices I'm not proud of. But I'll never apologize for the reason I made them. It's the same reason you reach out even now, when you see me struggling. You're my sister. Nothing can break that bond. Not death, not Riven, not even the light.
Like Ager and Rhaegar, finding each other in the storm.
Yeah, well, all that we've been through, that's no fable. We stood together as the world collapsed around us.
And we'll stand together again.
Interesting.
Guardian, I'm afraid progress is slow. The Veil is a clever tangle in and of itself. It reforms as the consciousnesses connected to it ebb and flow. They rush in, awash with dreams and wonder, and then drain away. I believed that once I understood the Veil, mechanically, once I understood Strand, that I would see its patterns with new clarity. That has not happened. This is not like charting a course through the currents of a sea or the depths of space. It is an architecture defined by how we intend to imagine it. Not dissimilar to the Ascended Plane, but if more like its opposite. The Ascended Plane mirrors aspects of our world, aspects of will and import, to those who traverse it. Those aspects are decided upon through our actions. The Veil, conversely, weaves not with our will, not our decisions, but with intent.
Interesting.
Unfiltered by logic. What we feel, not what we decide. Mapping such a thing would be like rebuilding a creature from the calcified remains we found aboard the pyramid ships. They are an image of a dissection, a deadened echo of existence. But to look at them as they are, to see their disparate parts, even understanding their anatomy does not give us the knowledge to make them as they were. I will continue to seek the path the Witness forged into the Traveler, but I am no longer confident that it could ever be walked again. Riven may be our only option.
Interesting. That is just a restructure of what he already said. It is interesting, though. Because we have already talked about how the light is like a manifestation of the physical world, and then the darkness is a manifestation of the the mind, essentially. The inner world, the subconscious almost. Like the reality versus subconscious, dreams, that kind of thing. It's interesting. I wonder where they're going with it. It's not entirely clear to me. We'll speak to Riven as well. It's a long weekly quest, goddamn.
So many wish to be closer with their family. The absent and the estranged cause rifts in a person's psyche. I hear them even now. Let me speak to my father again, one last time. Let my daughter see me for who I am. One of the stranger human impulses, don't you find? Above all, Ahamkara want to feed, to drink deep of the gulf between desire and reality. Other Ahamkara are competitors for limited resources, not allies. The only exception is a mate. Sometimes we reach beyond ourselves. Perhaps if we stood by one another more, we'd have survived the great hunt. If we were a little more human. But that bargain is not within our natures to make.
Interesting. They're naturally solitary. As opposed to humans who are naturally group-oriented. Or they're at the very least more family-oriented. Cool. So, I think that's gonna be it. There will be a... Here we go. I was right.
Are you on this channel?
I am. Quite frequently these days. How may I assist the Queen's wrath?
A personal matter. I was hoping you could tell me about your experience with Strand, how it's affected you.
Strictly research, but it is fascinating.
We know you've learned to wield it.
Who told you this? Mara. The rumors are true, though I am still only a figment of my former self.
That's understandable. But your worth was never seated in the light. It's in your mind.
I imagine I'm not unlike one of your Techians, then. If I'm not mistaken, the Queen mentioned you trained as one yourself.
Interesting.
A long time ago, without much success. Though my sister, Pinar, excelled in her training. She was the pride of Amethyst. I was not. But, even with that power, she couldn't stop the House of Wolves from razing our home. I joined the Corsairs shortly after, to hunt the wolves down.
Loss has a way of shaping us all.
And clouding us. I thought the decisions I was making were the ones required of me. A kind of honor-bound reaction to pressure. I burned bridges across the reef on my hunt. Without Mara, I'd be an outcast. Now, seeing the new coven, having their respect, their trust, I can do more than just react. Maybe I can tap into that training for something progressive. As something other than a Techian. For the benefit of our people.
I've learned that failure is not a lacking within us. It is a sign that we were not ready to face the challenge we chose at the time. We must fall to start again, Petra. But as long as we persist, hope remains. Potential remains. Perhaps you're ready now.
I can see why Mara values your perspective. Thank you, Osiris.
Interesting. I didn't know she would try to be a Techian. I guess it makes sense. She does have some kind of psionic ability, right? She fiddles with a knife all the time. But I never knew that, specifically. Hello, cat. Cool. Well, with that, I think we're done. Let me grab... grab all of those. I assume that was one of the... Reset your rank, yeah. That's what was flashing there. Still a secret thing on the Triumph, interestingly. Everything else seems pretty easily doable. Complete the quest. This is the only one that I'm unsure about currently, but we'll see. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.